channel. So today I would like to talk about a topic, and that is being happy or being comfortable with yourself and self-confidence. And this is a topic that I've been sort of eager to talk about for a while now. I just didn't really know how to deliver it. I definitely have been struggling with this, and I know that many people out there, probably people who are watching right now, has probably gone through this or are going through this stage as well. And I just think not many people share about this or talk about it in general, and I don't know why we don't. I haven't felt very confident and I haven't felt very comfortable talking about it. I'm a very closed-minded person. I like to keep myself to myself, and that is just something that I've always been like throughout my life. But one thing I have learned, however, is communication is the key, and it's really important to talk to people, because there are people out there who, believe it or not, understand, if not understand what you're going through, are able to listen. And that is something that I want to do. I want to be able to talk and feel comfortable about this topic, because I genuinely think it's something that we should be able to talk about. By the way, I know this is a different type of video. I don't really have a specific genre for my channel. I just sort of do whatever is on my mind and what I feel I like best, and this is something that I want to talk about today. I was not a very confident person at all. I was very shy, and I always sort of kept myself to myself, and I didn't really know how to approach people, and I didn't really know sort of how to build a conversation. And I'm not saying that I'm confident now. I'm not saying, I'm really happy with myself, that I love myself, I'm at that stage, I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that I am happy and I'm proud of who I am, and I'm proud of what I've accomplished and how far I've come today. And with confidence has really impacted on that as well. Building confidence can really take time. It is definitely not an easy process, as well as self-esteem, as well as learning to become happy and become comfortable. However, small steps can lead to a big change, and believe me when I say that. Self-esteem has really rooted in my childhood experience, and it does with a lot of people. It could be a very common one, which is separation of your parent figures. It could be neglect. It could be emotional and physical abuse. It all depends. I had a really great childhood, but it has also been a very, very difficult childhood for me as well. My parents separated at a very young age. I was very, very young, and I've watched my parents argue, I've watched them fight, I've watched my father hit my mother with an object really that you shouldn't really be using in the first place. That really scarred me, and it really put me down, and it definitely made me very, very low. I've watched them go through so many things that as a child you just don't really understand. I was definitely very, very confused, and I didn't know what was right and wrong. And as a child, what do you expect? You're young, there's a lot of things that you're learning, and there's a lot of things that you don't know in life. I don't want to give too much detail, because that's not the point of the video, but I feel like it all began from my childhood. I always refer back to that because that is something that I remember, and it's something that I will always remember. My mother and father are very, very great parents. They are communicating, they're bonding, and they are putting me and my brother as the first priority. That's something that I'm really, really happy about, and that is something that I've always wanted. We tell ourselves to love ourselves, yet our actions, reactions, and our lives tells us otherwise. And sometimes it can be very, very hard to believe it, and you need to be able to believe it. Loving yourself, it is an essential part in your life. It is part of your life. It is part of your growth. It will help you to fulfill your dreams and whatever future goals that you have in your life. It's definitely important to care as much about yourself as you do to others. You are in control of yourself, and you know yourself more than anybody else. The way you show how you love other people, you need to do the same for yourself. If you don't learn to love yourself, then you're going to struggle. There's a lot of things that you probably can't do. You haven't learned to accept yourself, and don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Nothing worse than being surrounded by negative influences and a bad environment. That is just not what you need when it comes to learning to love yourself. They say treat people the way you want to be treated, which is correct. However, you also need to treat yourself the way you want to treat your children, your best friend, your family, your mother, as well as treating the way you treat other people. One of the things I think is great to do is to write a list of things that you need, whether it's emotionally, me things that upset or hurt you whenever you feel ignored or whenever you feel violated, and write those things down. When somebody ignores what's important, you'll know because you'll get hurt and it affects you. And I always say, I don't want to catch feelings, I don't want to get hurt, but then I realized it is important that you have those feelings because they can tell you and identify what's right and what is wrong. So if you ever get hurt, just remember that it's okay and that you can move forward and you can identify how to move forward from it. The next thing I think is important when it comes to loving yourself is to do what you need to do in order to be yourself. You know yourself more than any other person in this world. Nobody can control you and nobody can tell you what you need to do in order to be happy because they don't know you like yourself. You need to figure out what makes you feel good and what makes you happy. The more you do things, the happier you will be, trust me. If you focus on yourself and do the things that you know. For example, I have a list what I want to do when I have my me time, and some of those things are just reading my book, listening to music, and preparing myself for the next day. When I have my me time, I definitely remove myself from all technology, all social media, and really just focus on me. And that is something that I think you should do as well, and just have your time because you are the most important thing. Once you discover this and do this more often, all these things will help develop your accomplishments and help develop and understand yourself more. It is so great that you are different. It is so great that you are unique, and it is definitely not something that you should be ashamed of. I'm so appreciative of my weirdness, of my features. I used to hate my eyes. I thought they were really big and they were very buggy, and I used to get called quite a few names over it. Also, I used to hate my lips. I used to think that they were very, very big. I used to get a couple of names about that as well. But now I'm rocking it. If I could tell the younger me that, embrace those features, then I would have. And I'm so happy that, I'm learning to love myself. We always learn and we're always going to learn, and there are times when we're going to feel down and there are times when we're going to not be happy. Okay, so now I want to talk about boosting your self-esteem and things that you could do to boost your self-esteem, and these are some of the things that I have done which have really helped me. Make a list of your strengths, your achievements, and things that you admire about yourself. Basically just positive things about yourself, put them in a jar, and each night open it up, or whatever you're feeling down, open that up and read it and take that in. Despite your problems, you are a unique individual, you're special, and you are a gift, and you need to just remember that. Eat healthy and work out regularly. I feel like with me, when I eat crappy food, I get really depressed and I just don't feel good about myself at all. I feel like I'm doing something productive and I'm actually doing something and making myself feel good and look better as well. And also, surround yourself with positive people. I definitely have trust issues, and I've always had problems with who I can trust, and there have been so many people who have been in and out of my life. Surround yourself with people that you love and you can trust. Last thing I would say, how to make yourself feel good and better about yourself, is to help out other people. It could be whoever, and one of the things you could do is perhaps do some voluntary work. I've done some voluntary work which I mentioned in my New Year's resolutions video, and I have been doing some voluntary work, and I've been just chatting with elderly people and also feeding the homeless, and whenever I do that I just feel much better about myself, and I feel really grateful as well. I feel like I'm doing something good and something productive, rather than me sitting at home watching TV thinking about what I could be doing rather than what I should be doing. So yeah, definitely maybe go out there, help out people. It doesn't matter who is feeling down, or if anybody is, depressed in their life, body confidence, or whatever situation you're going through. I honestly think it's important to just communicate with somebody that you trust. It's great to just someone to listen and really understand where you're coming from, believe it or not. I was so glad I did do that, and I wish I did it sooner. But yeah, it's definitely great to just talk to people and really let them understand how you're feeling. This video is pretty random. I do apologize, but this is just something that's been in my head, and I just wanted to really talk about. We need to just embrace ourselves and really love ourselves, and just remember that you are beautiful, you're unique, and you are special. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have a lovely day, and until next time, I shall see you guys in my next video. Mwah. Bye.